Dolphins fans, you're watching Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott. We're talking about some news and rumors surrounding the Fins leading into next week's NFL free agency start. And before we get into today's show, I want to tell you all that we are so close to 40,000 subscribers. So go down, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications because there's going to be a lot of news that breaks here in the coming days and coming weeks. So you want to stay informed on the Fins, go and hit that subscribe button right now. Help us get to 40,000 subscribers. And if we get there, by the end of the day, we're going to have a Xavier Howard jersey raffle tomorrow during our live show at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Now let's get into today's show about some news and rumors surrounding the Dolphins, and we begin with Lamar Jackson. The Ravens quarterback received the non-exclusive franchise tag yesterday, meaning that he's basically a restricted free agent. He can talk to other teams, and the Baltimore Ravens can match any offer that he gets. And if he does go somewhere else, the Ravens would get 2 first-round picks. And there were some Dolphins fans on Twitter, some in the comments of this show, saying, maybe we'll go after Lamar Jackson. That's not going to happen, according to Jeff Darlington of ESPN, saying the Dolphins will not be pursuing Lamar Jackson or any other, you hear that? Any other starting quarterback this offseason. Multiple team sources tell me. As one source said, Mike McDaniel fully believes Tua is the perfect fit for his system, and I am happy to hear that the Dolphins are not going to be pursuing Lamar Jackson. Now, is Lamar the more proven quarterback over Tua? Yeah, he's won an MVP. Yeah, he's had a little bit more success in this league. But giving up 2 first-round picks when you already have, in what I believe is franchise quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa, I think that would have been a mistake. And Tua did put up better numbers than Jackson throwing the football this year. Now, that does not include Jackson's rushing stats, which obviously add to the special talent that he is, but Tua did play in more games. And I think a lot of people are like, well, Tua's not durable. Let's go get Jackson. Well, Tua played more games the last 2 seasons. 3,500 passing yards for Tua, 25 touchdowns compared to Jackson, 17, 8 interceptions compared to Jackson, 7, and Tua had the higher QBR. And let's say, hypothetically, that the Dolphins do want Lamar Jackson. It would have been nearly impossible to land him because Jackson was placed on the non-exclusive franchise tag. That means that any team that wants to sign him, if Baltimore does not match, would have to give 2 first-round picks to the Ravens, and the Dolphins do not have a first-round pick this season or this draft. Now, taking a look at some more details here. So, Jackson can sign with another team, but the Ravens will have a chance to match that offer. So, very similar to restricted free agent. The difference is they don't. Baltimore receives 2 first-round picks. The Dolphins do not have a first-round pick in 2023, thanks to the tampering that they did last year. So they would have to wait until after the NFL draft to sign Jackson, and then Baltimore would get the Dolphins first in 24 and 25. So the only way that Jackson would end up in Miami is if the Dolphins really wanted him and Jackson wanted to come home. Of course, he is from South Florida, and Jackson would be like, okay, I'm going to wait until after the NFL draft to sign. But that's not going to happen. The Dolphins have stated multiple times that they are committed to Tua Tagovailoa. Now, if you had to pick a quarterback, who would it be? Type 1 for Tua or type 8 for Jackson? I'm not saying who's the better quarterback, but who would you rather have at the helm for the Dolphins? Type 1 for Tua or 8 for Jackson. It is the pinned comment on today's video, so reply to it when an ad break comes. We're going to get into more players that have been linked to Miami here in a second, but first, I want to tell you about today's show sponsor, Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every single day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition. AthleticGreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 every morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. I came into this year wanting to get healthier, and starting my year on AG1 has helped me do just that. I take it every morning, and I feel happier, healthier, and more energized. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be any easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Done. I also like that it costs less than $3 a day. It's pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. Win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. Link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Going back to some free agency rumors surrounding the Fins, Adam Schefter is reporting that the Bills are expected to lose both safety Jordan Poyer and linebacker Tremaine Edmunds in NFL free agency. And if you're following me on Twitter, you know that a lot of guys are Dolphins. Both of these guys are Dolphins. Jordan Poyer and Edmunds have both been linked to Miami, especially Jordan Poyer, but linebacker is a bigger need for Miami, so maybe Edmunds will be who they go after as well. Taking a look at what Poyer has done the last couple of seasons, he has been one of the best safeties in the National Football League year in and year out. 9 interceptions the last 2 seasons. Pairing him with Jevon Holland would be absolutely lethal for opposing offenses. And the signing of Jordan Poyer has actually grown on me. I know that I told y'all a couple weeks back that I'm like, yeah, I like Poyer, lots of player, but safety is not a huge need because you have Holland and you have Jones. But here's why this idea has grown on me as we take a look at the Dolphins safety depth chart right now. You're going to lose Eric Rowe. He's a free agent. So in Vic Fangio's defense, you're going to have 3 safeties be heavily involved. So Jevon Holland could be your first guy there. Then he could be paired up with Jordan Poyer, and then Brandon Jones would be replacing Eric Rowe. So basically, Poyer replacing Jones, Jones replacing Rowe. Jones becomes your third safety. I do like that idea here for the Dolphins. Now, talking about Tremaine Edmunds, he is a very, very high-level linebacker. Over 100 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits this past season with Buffalo. And the Dolphins do have a big team-needed linebacker, 5 linebackers that are free agents. Now, I do believe there's some other guys that might be more realistic than Edmunds, including Levante David of the Bucs. We'll probably talk about him on my live show tomorrow. But Tremaine Edmunds, man, would fit really nicely with this Dolphins defense. But if you could pick one to sign, who would it be? Let me know down in the comments. Type JP for Jordan Poyer or TE for Tremaine Edmunds down in the comments section. Go down and let me know. How sweet would that be to take a couple of star players from your division rival Bills? That'd be awesome if you landed both. I don't think they'll land Edmunds. I do believe that Jordan Poyer is a Dolphin. Jemal Dean might be a Dolphin as well because ESPN posted an article this morning about one player that every team must sign. And I thought it might be Poyer. I thought it might be a running back. I thought it might be an offensive lineman, might like McGlinchey. But ESPN said for the Dolphins, that should be Jemal Dean, the Buccaneers cornerback. Here is what they said. Miami needs a young cornerback who fits well with the zone coverages preferred by new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Enter Dean, the 26-year-old cornerback coming off of a Tampa Bay team that led all defenses in zone coverage frequency last season. Taking a look at what Dean did in his 4th season in Tampa Bay. 57 tackles, 8 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a solid PFF grade of 77.9. And I have stayed on the show over and over again that, I don't necessarily think you have to trade for Jalen Ramsey, right? You don't need maybe 2 number 1 corners, but getting a reliable number 2 corner should be a priority for the Dolphins this offseason. I think Dean would be that guy, and he'd be a lot cheaper than maybe a John Jones or a James Bradbury or trading for Jalen Ramsey. So I'm all for bringing Dean to Miami, and I do believe the Dolphins will sign a corner here in the coming weeks. Now, do you want to sign Jemal Dean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers corner? Type S for sign or P for pass down in the comment section. Would I rather have John Jones? Would I rather have Greedy Williams? Yeah. But Dean would be a solid option there for the Dolphins. Talking about a division rival now, it looks like Aaron Rodgers might be a New York Jet because the Jets owner, Woody Johnson, the head coach, Robert Saleh, offensive coordinator, the new OC, Nathaniel Hackett, all flew out to California last night to meet with Aaron Rodgers, and it does appear that they are headed towards a deal. And this would make the Jets a lot better because you think about the Jets last year, this was a competitive football team. They beat the Dolphins pretty badly in the first meeting, at least in the fourth quarter. They pulled away. Now, granted, the Dolphins were without Tua. And then in the second meeting, they're without Tua again. The Dolphins squeaked past the Jets 9-6 to make the playoffs. So, look, I'm not saying that the Jets are going to be better than the Dolphins if they get Aaron Rodgers. I said on my show yesterday, I think the Dolphins would still be the better team over the Jets. But this makes the Jets a playoff contender if they land Rodgers. Does this make them a Super Bowl contender? No, it just doesn't. Here are some Twitter shout-outs. Wanted to shout out some people that retweeted my tweet this morning. We have Lamaris, Batman, Lane Gaming, U Sanchez, and my guy Big E, the Dolphins Twitter legend Big E. Some to a stand, Sammy Chico at Fins Post. We appreciate, man, one of the biggest supporters of our show. Kevin, JD, and Dylan, thanks so much for helping us get closer to 40,000 subscribers. I think we picked up a couple during this filming because now we're 4 subscribers away from 40K. So go and subscribe to the channel right now if you want to be a part of that Xavier Howard jersey raffle on tomorrow's live show.